Well guys, of course tomorrow, when you see this video, I am going to begin filming the 2024 MTWS Runners-Up Cup. I am all ready to go. So, since I have nothing else to do tonight, I decide, let's get back to this really quickly, as it's now time to do the top 10 2015 MTWS events. Of course, this was the last season on MTM2, and it would be the last season for MTWS until 2022. So yeah, there were a lot of events this year and such, so it's now time to get to them. Here are the top 10 events of the 2015 MTWS season, starting off with number 10, Vancouver, November 29th, 2015, as this was the first time MTWS was in Vancouver, and we would not come here again until 2023. And this was, I think, only the second ever Canadian city we went to. As you can see, it's U-turn style racing. Big track it was too. Bus stack, a van stack with a jackrabbit at the end, a semi-trailer, a double backflip wall, racing lanes, and of course a jammer. I'm honestly surprised I didn't. I think I might have added some cars or something out in the middle, but I'm surprised I didn't do a center jump back then when I made the track. Very surprising. And of course, this event was wild because Pokemon got the #1 qualifier and Yatsura was #2. And Pokemon with #1 qualifier would go all the way to the finals where it would face Thunderbolt and it would win racing. It would be Pokemon's only win in its career, I think. No, its only racing win, I mean to say, because it won the Runners-Up Cup Freestyle a month or so later. So yeah, racing was wild with Pokemon win and getting #1 qualifier, so I mean, it could have swept. Alright, so then we got the freestyle, as it started off with Total Chaos, who got 23. Venom came out, flipped early, and only got 17. Then Crusher came out, got 25 to take the lead. Crazy Bull came out, tied Crusher with a 25. Night Stalker came out, but flipped early and only got a 6. Yi Plunderer came out, but flipped early and only got a 19. Now look at that good so far. Madness came out, but flipped early and only got a 19. Locomotion came out, had a great run to take the lead with a 28. Stinger came out and had a good run and took the lead with a 29. Yatsura came out and then took the lead as the rookie with a 30. Shatter came out and struggled a year, only got 25. Predator came out and flipped early, so it only got 13. Flying Falcon came out and had an incredible run as it took the lead with a 34. Pokemon came out going for a sweep and it fell short with a 31. Eruption came out with a great run, we got a 32. Shadowrun came out and had a great run, but only got a 30. Thunderbolt came out and got revenge from Pokemon as it put up an insane freestyle to show why it was the former freestyle champion, and it took the lead with a 37. And then next up was Impala, who was going up against its arch rival Thunderbolt, put up a great run but fell short with a 36. And last up was the defending freestyle champion Nitro, but unfortunately Nitro in its home country would flip early to only get a 12. So great event that was in Vancouver for our debut. And then number 9, Syracuse, December 27th, 2015. This was the East Coast part of the season finale of the season. And like I said, I think I said the first time in Syracuse, and we wouldn't come here again until 2024. And I remember, of course, like I mentioned, the history of MTWS filming, qualifying, and racing at my aunt's house after doing a Christmas party the day before. Man, what a fun night and morning that was filming this event. As, of course, for our debut, we did St. Louis style racing, of course, with a step up, a camper on a tabletop, which I honestly probably should do again. Something so simple, but it was really fun. A jackrabbit with a van stack on it, a tabletop with cars and a semi-trailer, and of course a backflip wall. That was a really fun event, and Blood Rage, of course, got the #1 qualifier, and Pokemon, who just got #1 early in Vancouver, would get #2. And we had some wild races, Thunderbolt beating Mad Dog in round 1 and such, and Blood Rage would beat Thunderbolt and such. In the finals, we would have Blood Rage going up against Fireball, and Blood Rage would get the win and all that, as we went into freestyle, as freestyle would start with Polar Storm, who got 23. Crusher came out and got 26 to take the lead. War Machine came out and got 24. Venom came out and got 24. Crush and Run came out and would tie Crusher with a 26. The Monster Razor came out with a great run to take the lead with a 27. Predator came out, and I think it went for the reverse backflip too, as it took the lead with a 28. Madness came up and flipped early, but it got 23 it was. Then Flying Falcon came out with a great run, as we mentioned earlier in Vancouver, as it took the lead with a 31. Red Alert came out and got 28. Fireball came out and got 27. Pokemon came out but flipped early and only got 22. Blood Rage came out going for a sweep and had a great run and took the lead with a 33. And then Eruption came out but flipped early and only got 22. Mad Dog came out but flipped early and only got 20. Crazy came out but flipped early and only got 26. Thunderbolt came out and flipped off the step up early in a great run. It got 31. Outlaw came out with an incredible run. Vintage Outlaw is it got a 36. Impala came out but flipped early and only got 32. And Nitro, the defending champion, came out last and flipped early and broke or whatever and got only 11, as Outlaw would win freestyle. And funny enough, Blood Rage and Outlaw, of course, the next time we would see them in the championship a month later, they would face in the finals. So yeah, that was really fun debut there. Although I still think 2024's event was much better than this one. Alright, so now, on to the next one. Number 8, Detroit, November 1st, 2015. As of course, Detroit last year when we went here for the first time, made the top 10 last season, and made here once again. As this year, we did Vegas into St. Louis, which was a really cool idea. I think I did it before. As of course, a track, racing lane, semi-trailer, step up sideways, a van stack, a bus stack in the middle, and a double, which I think that was the new double I started using in 2014, I think. Oh, no, that's right. That was using 2010, because I remember. Here we go. But yeah, qualifying ended with Patriot, easily getting number 1 qualifier, and a lot of trucks struggled in racing, as it made the bracket really, really, really messed up. And because of that, the finals, and a surprise thing was the former racing champion Power Forward going up against Madness. Yeah, Madness made the finals, which was quite wild. And Power Forward won racing, and I think that might have been Power Forward's first racing win since its racing title in 2011. So yeah, that was a long time coming. But then we get the freestyle, and oh boy, freestyle was wild, just like it always was here in Detroit. Alright, so anyways, of course, freestyle started off with Polar Storm as it got 23. Damage Control came out and got a 19. Total Chaos came out and got a 20. Crusher came out and took the lead with a 25. The Monster Razor came out and tied with a 25. Then Topsy Turvy came out and got a 22. Madness came out and got 27, which was the new leader. Power Forward came out going for a double down, but only got 25. Shatter came out and got 25. Patriot came out and got 27. Red Alert came out, but flipped very early and only got 23. Outrage came out, but flipped as it wheelied into the step up as it only got 23. Flying Falcon came out and got a 31 to take the lead. And next up was, and Flying Falcon had an air assault. Yatsura came out and got 25. Fireball came up but flipped early and only got 21. And then the run of the night. This was wild. As next up was Prowler, who in its run went for the semi-trailer, had a massive sky wheelie that destroyed the rear end of the truck, like 4 links, everything, like snapped the axle almost in half or whatever, or like dry shaft loop. It still kept on going, crawling across the track as it lost both rear tires before it parked on top of the van stack with a wild finish as it took the lead with a 33. Then Monster Jam came out and got a 31. Then Thunderbolt came out and had its best run of 2015 as it took the lead with a 37 with Insane Freestyle. Impala came out once again trying to take out its arch rival but struggled throughout the run and only got 29. And then last up was defending freestyle champion Nitro, who had an insane run and almost backflipped off the semi-trailer somehow. I don't know how it could have done that, but it almost did. And it ended up tying Thunderbolt for the freestyle win. So yeah, what a wild night it was in Detroit, especially that flip that run at Prowler did. That was just insane. Alright, so now we move on to number 7. New Orleans, December 18th, 2015. As this was one of 3 events that was moved a different time. Originally it was going to be December 20th, but I had to move it to the 18th due to my family's Christmas party thing, which I just mentioned earlier when I had to film Syracuse at my aunt's house. As this was the first ever Friday event in MTWS history, or at least in terms of regular season. And this still remains the last event that had date change and such, as it was Chicago-style racing. And I remember, like, I think I had to, like, quickly make the track, too, leading up to that week, since I had to move the date and all that, because I had to go, like, really fast on it. But I went out pretty big on this track. As you see, it's Chicago-style racing, had a tabletop with cars. I brought the diesel train with dirt around, which was a new thing I used back then. The step-up sideways, bus stack sideways, van stack with a jammer, and the backflip ball. I went really out on this track, especially compared to last year. And of course, this was the last non-live MTWS event until 2023 Chester, over almost 8 years later. So yeah, that was really nostalgic. Alright, so anyways, Mad Dog would come down here to New Orleans and get the #1 qualifier in a blowout, but it would not win race in the end, as instead it would be Blood Rage going up against Impala in the finals. We had a lot of incredible races that night, and in the end, it would be Blood Rage winning racing, as it would do a week later in Syracuse, as it edged out Impala for the win. Alright, then we get to Freestyle, as Night Stalker started off Freestyle with a strong run and got a 30. I think at the time that might have been one of the highest scoring runs for the first truck out there. It was really up there. Crush and Run came out and got a 25. Venom came out and got a 23. Crazy Bull came out and got a 24. War Machine came out and got a 24. Ye Plunderer came out and got a 28. Topsy Turvy came out and got a 28. Power Forward came out and got a 28. A lot of 28s. Yatsura came out but flipped early, so it only got a 21. Destroyer came out and got another 28. Blaine came out but flipped early, so it only got a 13. Reller came out but flipped early, so it only got 24. Blood Rage came out going for a double down and had a great run to tie Night Stalker with a 30. Eruption came out and had a great run and took the lead with a 33. Wild Ride came out but flipped early, possibly on its first hit, and only got a 5. Monster Jam came out and had a 30. Thunderbolt, former freestyle champion, had an incredible run and took the lead with a 36. Mad Dog came out and had a great run but fell short with a 32. Crazy came out and but flipped too early, so it only got 14. And for the third time, I think, Impala went out there to face its arch rival, but flipped early just like it did in 2014, and it fell short of a 17, as Thunderbolt won another freestyle. As incredible night that was, even with it being forced to be done much sooner than it should have been. Alright, and with that, we are now on to the next event. Number 6, Minneapolis, December 6, 2015. As this was the first time MTWS has returned to Minneapolis since October 2011, but this was the first and only time at the moment that MTWS went to TCF Bank Stadium, as Bank of America Stadium, whatever it was called, wasn't around yet, and the Metrodome was already destroyed. So this was the only option. I had to make the statement. I did not do the best job, as you can see, for it, but I did the best I could. So yeah, this was another live event of the year, and we did U-turn style racing. Man, this track was awesome for our return after 4 years in Minneapolis. Racing lane, tanker stack, van stack with the jammer, tabletop with the backflip wall, fountain, which wasn't probably the smartest idea later on thinking about, although there wasn't weather, but it is Minneapolis in December. That would have been frozen over. A semi-trailer and a triple jammer stack. But yeah, this was a wild night, as Thunderbolt would get the #1 qualifier, Nitro would get number 2, and man, we had some incredible racing highlights, if I remember correctly. Freaking, as I'm trying to look it up right now, not a lot of like insane matches until we get to the quarterfinals, where Thunderbolt would beat Outlaw, Blood Rage beat Predator, Impala beat Mad Dog, Prowler beat Destroyer, and the semifinals was Thunderbolt beating Blood Rage and Impala beating Prowler, and then it would set up, for the first time in a long time at this point, a arch rivalry showdown in the finals. Thunderbolt versus Impala, and I still think to this day this is the last time that they've raced each other in the finals, and I think this was the last time they faced each other in racing. This will be the last time in racing they faced each other until 2019, if I remember correctly, but this was in the finals, and this was a huge matchup. As always back then, Thunderbolt would beat Impala to win racing, as Thunderbolt back then would regularly beat Impala in racing. It was like almost consistently lopsided. But we were not done yet, as we had wild freestyle action to come out with. Of course, As we continued in our return to Minneapolis, we continued the tradition of Patriot coming out first in freestyle and had an insane run. If I remember correctly, it even wheelied up the semi-trailer, which was really cool, as it took the lead with a 32. Then Damage Control came out, but flipped early, so it only got an 18. Prowler came out and got a 25. Venom came out and got a 28. Bone Crusher came out and got a 25. The Monster Razor came out, but flipped early, so it only got a 14. Locomotion came out and had a 27. Then Madness came out and only got a 25. Yatsura came out and got a 28. I think I remember that run. Locomotion... Wait, did I just say that? I think I just looped. And then Pokemon came out, but slammed into the wall with 10 seconds left in regulation, so it only got 26. Red Alert came out and got 28, just make sure I mentioned that earlier. Prowler came out and got a 31 in a great run. Blood Rage came out but flipped early and only get a 14. Machamp came out but flipped early and only got a 12. I think it flipped on the Tanker stack too. Mad Dog came out but broke the 4-link going into bonus time, so it flipped early and only got a 30. I mean, broke early and only got 31. Then Outlaw came out and had an incredible run to take the lead with a 34, breaking one of the traditions where it would be Nitro coming out and taking 35 as the next score. So then Thunderbolt came out going for the sweep, but it had steering problems for the entire event, I mean, for the beginning of the run, and it flipped after 8 seconds and only got a 7. That was very unfortunate. Impala, of course, came out to get its revenge. It had an incredible run of the year, and it took the lead with a 37. And then, of course, last up was Nitro to try to keep its other tradition going, as it would win freestyle every year here. And put up a great run, but it just fell short as it only got a 34. What an awesome event it was in Minneapolis. I hope the one day can come back to TCF Bank Stadium. Even though we have the Bank of America Stadium, no, US Bank Stadium, or whatever it's called, that event in TCF Stadium was so amazing. I hope they go back there again. Alright, so now we're halfway through the list. Now, number 5, Oakland, August 23rd, 2015. As remember, Oakland last year was number 2 in 2014. This time it went down to 5th place, as this was the first time Oakland was for the season opener. And once again, we did Chicago style racing like we did before, the exact same setup pretty much, with a bus stack, a giant like jammer with a van stack at the end, like doubled I made. That was insane. A step up, 2 van stacks with a jammer at the end, and a backflip wall down at the end, kind of like somewhat same setup we did the year before. As of course, Outlaw would get the number 1 qualifier, and Destroyer surprisingly got number 2 with number 2 in qualifying. And racing would end up being a wild moment, because this night Shatter, of course, debuted its new scheme in 2015, and was going to emphasize focus on racing more instead of freestyle. And boy, did it start off 2015 with a bang, as it made it all the way to the finals, where it would face Patriot, who just beat the number 1 qualifier Outlaw earlier. And oh boy, it already had a big comeback in earlier in racing when it beat Outrage in the quarterfinals. It was something to be an insane matchup to start off the year. Unfortunately, that would not be the case, because in the end, in the finals, it would be Shatter getting the racing win, as on the final turn, Patriot clipped the turning car and flipped over, and probably gave the win to Shatter, which I think Patriot might have won if it didn't flip over, because it was pretty comfortably in the lead, I think. So a blown opportunity, as Shatter got the win to start off the year at a good start. Alright, so then we got to freestyle course, a whole bunch of rookie trucks too, remember. So War Machine, the rookie star, freestyle, and had a sick run to get a 27. I think it even went for the backflip to start off too. That was insane. Bone Crusher, another rookie, came out and got a 20. Venom came out, another rookie, got 20. Crusher came out but flipped early, so it only got an 18. Red Alert came out and had an incredible run as it took the lead with a 29, another rookie. Locomotion came out but flipped early, so it only got a 25. Crazy Bull had an incredible run, just like it did the previous year here, and took the lead with a 35. How about that from Crazy Bull? Then Patriot came out after flipping and racing, as it would get a 30. Stinger came out but flipped early and only got 19. Flying Falcon came out, flipped and only got 28. Prowler came out and got 28. Pokemon, the other rookie truck, came out but flipped on its very first hit and only got a 4. I think it was on the jammer double. I think that's what flipped on. But yeah, flipped very early and only got a 4. Outrage came out and got 28. Predator came out and got a reverser backflip, but it only ended up getting a 33. Shadowrun came out and got 28. Destroyer came out and got 27. Bling came out and got 28. Shatter came out going for a double down, and it had an incredible run. Surprisingly, folks said it was going to only focus on racing more, and it ended up tying Crazy Bull with the lead with a 35. Crazy came out but flipped early, he's only got a 9. Last up was Outlaw and had another insane run, but slammed into the wall, which caused both its left tires to lock up. But despite that, Outlaw managed to somehow finish bonus time on a crippled truck, and it ended up winning freestyle barely with a 36. I can't wait to watch this event again to probably write down maybe a better description. I'm really curious to see what Outlaw could have done on a broken truck pretty much to get the win, because man, that was insane. What a great event it was. Alright, so now we're on to number 4. Melbourne, Australia. September 20th, 2015, another live event, as this was the International Series event and our debut in Australia. That was a fun event. And for our debut here, I decided to go big and we did over and under style racing for the first time ever, and we wouldn't do this again until we did the World Finals 21 version in Edmonton 7 years later almost. I hope to do this setup once again in the future for MTWS. It was a really cool idea, racing style. And that took a lot of work. I remember making that track. That took a lot of work to make that. That was very difficult, but it ended up working very well. The track was pretty accurate, realistic and reasonable and fair. I did a very good job with it. Blood Rage got the number 1 qualifier, as Impala was number 2. And Nitro actually went into the wall in its run, which was very unfortunate for it. And racing was wild. The quarterfinals was insane. Fireball beating Nitro, Mad Dog beating Crazy Bull, Power 4 beating Bling, Impala beating Patriot. Then the semifinals, Fireball would beat Mad Dog and Power Forward would beat Impala. So the finals was Fireball and Impala would get the racing win. So yeah, that was really good. And then we get to freestyle. What a wild one it was. As Crush and Run started off freestyles, it got 25. Crazy Bull came out and once again had an insane run as it took the lead with a 31. Patriot came out and got 26. Predator came out and got another reverser backflip, which was really hard back then, remember, but only got 27. Power Forward came up but flipped early, so it only got a 17. Pokemon came out but blew its engine bonus time, so it only got a 30. I think it even, it blew its engine, I think, during a donut and actually came to a stop right in front of the backflip wall, if I remember correctly. Alright, then after that, as lost track of the list, and oh my gosh, here we go, finally found it. Monster Jam came out, and it got a backflip on the first hit and ended up tying Crazy Bull for 31. Then Destroyer came out and got 25. Bling came out and got 27. Shatter came out and got 27. Fireball came out and tied Crazy Bull and Pokemon for 31. So now we have a freeway tie. Actually, it was Monster Jam, not Pokemon. Blood Rage came out and got 28. Mad Dog came out and finally had an incredible run to start off 2015 as it struggled early on. And it took the lead with a 35 insane freestyle. Wild Ride came out but flipped early and only got 14. Eruption came out and got 30. Crazy came out and had an incredible freestyle. And it started off by plowing through the RV on the van stack, which I left out there as a bonus obstacle. I think it even landed on it or plowed through it. It was a bonus obstacle. We turned it up track around during freestyle. Insane freestyle as it took the lead with a 36. Outlaw came out but hit the wall on the axle, which damaged the truck. It kept trying to go, but it couldn't really do anything. It's only got 28. Thunderbolt came out and got a 34. Impala came out and had an incredible freestyle as it took the lead with a 37. And last up was the defending freestyle champion, Nitro, who had its first insane freestyle as the defending champion after a month in. And it finished with a backflip attempt that it did exactly what happened to Lindsay Wink and Lucas Oil Crusader, I believe in, God, what was it, East Rutherford 2012? Where did a backflip and came down, destroyed both rear tires, broke off cleanly like that. What a wild finish it was. And it allowed Nitro to tie Impala with the freestyle win with a 37 as well. What a great event it was. I hope to one day go back to Melbourne. But hey, we went to Brisbane in 2024. Man, that was insane. Alright, now on to number 3. Mexico City, October 11th, 2015, as this was another live event, as this was the first time ever MTWS was live in Mexico City, as we had Chicago-style racing, which I think we did the year before, as we had a pretty big track out there. Bus stack, backflip semi-trailer, that double van stack combo, van stack at the end, which I think was a jammer at the end, step up to do some Leduc leaping, a I think it was a jammer sideways, and a tabletop in the middle with cars, which I remember was a very difficult thing to make really hittable and all that. Man, that was frustrating, that event to deal with. As we had some wild action in racing and all that. We had a wild semifinals as an Outlaw beating Impala and Crazy Bull beating Patriot. And then the finals. Outlaw, Crazy Bull. Another old arch rivalry in MTWS. And it would get renewed as it was a wild race. And it would be Crazy Bull beating Outlaw in the finals to get its first win against Outlaw in racing since the 2009 championship. But we were not done yet. We had some wild action still to come. As freestyle started off with Bone Crusher that got 22. Crazy Bull came out going for a double down and started off with a Leduc leap, had a sick run, big air across the track, got the first backflip of the night, and shot to the lead with a 32. What an insane run it was. Topsy Turvy came out and got 25. Madness came out and had a sick run and went for its first backflip and got 29. Stinger came out and struggled at first, then went nuts, cleared the double and reversed up the step up but flipped backwards after stuffing it and only got 24. Locomotion came up with a strong run by destroying a new camper that was brought out and had a sick save in its run and went for the backflip but fell short on the backflip attempt that got 30. And then afterwards came out Patriot, who got a 28. Flying Falcon came out and got a 31. Bling came out and made up for its bad performance in Miami as it got 30. Destroyer came out with a strong run that flipped with 6 seconds early off the jammers. It got 26. Yatsor came out and had a crazy run to tie Crazy Bull for 32. Outrage came up a flip with 16 seconds left in regulation off the doubles, only got 25. Shadowrun came out and had a sick run with some huge air off the van stack, but only got a 27 and was kind of underscored. Prowler came out and flipped with 24 seconds in regulation off the double and only got 21. Eruption came out, had a great run with some huge air off the bus stack and a backflip and went into the dumpster at the end of its run to get a 28, I mean to say. Outlaw came with a huge Leduc leap while smashing a camper on the step up, kind of like how Blue Thunder in Orlando 2008, how insane and beautiful that was. Had an amazing run as it took the lead with a 37. Crazy came out and also did a Leduc leap with even bigger air, but despite that, it fell short with a 36. Thunderbolt came out and had a Leduc leap. It had a good run, but it was nowhere compared to Outlaw and Crazy, as it only got a 30. Impala came out with another Leduc leap, but flipped off the side of the bus stack with 51 seconds left in regulation, only got a 17. Last up was defending freestyle champion Nitro, who had an amazing run, cleared the double, cross-thread the van stack, got two backflips out there, but despite all that, it would only get a 35 as Outlaw would win freestyle here in Mexico City. And it wasn't it though. Crazy Bull Outlaw would have swept if it wasn't for Crazy Bull stopping in the finals. We had a whole bunch. We had Viva La Mexico come out for an encore. Yuri Yuri Sunhai and Anime Truck came out for an encore as well. The MTWS came out for an encore and all that. Yeah, that was a wild event and all that. And remember, that's only number 3 on the list. We still got 2 more. What could top this event, people? As we're now getting on to the next part. Number 2, Atlanta, August 23rd, 2015. As this was a tough one. This just barely got edged up from number 1. As this was the season finale, the East Coast season finale, season opener, of the 2015 season, as I went out for this track to start the season. As you can see, Chicago-style racing with the new train stack out there, jammers, sideways semi-trailer, a box stand, which is probably not realistic, put in a good spot, bus stack, and of course the new obstacle I made like the year beforehand, a bus stack, van stack, semi-trailer combo, and I tried to make it a little bit more interesting as I had step-ups, not step-ups, like jammers in it to make like sky wheelies and such. It didn't work out quite well, and MTM2. It worked out a lot better at ROR. I need to use that obstacle again. It's been a while since I think I last used it. But yeah, I went out for this track. Wild Ride ended up getting the #1 qualifier. And Mad Dog actually flipped somewhere in the event too. Oh yeah, in qualifying, it flipped, it hit the bus stack and flipped and got a DNF, so it had to start off all the way as last place qualifier. But it didn't matter to Mad Dog, as it just made it all the way to the finals, where it would face Crush and Run, and Crush and Run would win racing. It would get its first racing win as a defending racing champion, start off 2015 strong. An incredible racing action with a lot of photo finishing. It was insane. And then we got more rookies, of course. So Damage Control, the rookie, started freestyle, only got an 18. Total Chaos, another rookie, came out and got 23. Monster Jam came out with an incredible run of rookie with a backflip and some insane air as it got a 33. Monster Razor came out and got 24. Madness came out and got 24. Topsy Turvy came out and got 25. Night Stalker came out and got 24. Then Ye Plunder came out and got 25. Crush and Run came out going for a double down. He actually had a great run, but fell short of a 29. Wild Ride came out and had an incredible run as it tied Monster Jam with a 33. Fireball came out and had a 31. Power 4 came out and got 28. Eruption came out and had an insane freestyle, as I think it even went for the Leduc leap, and it actually took the lead with a 38. Blood Rage came out in its hometown, but blew the transmission after getting stuck in one of the obstacles and only got a 33. Thunderbolt came out, but flipped early on a backflip attempt, so it only got 30. Mad Dog came out and smashed into the wall in one of its moves and cracked the frame, which only ended its run early and only got 10. Impala came out and showed why it was one of the best freestyles in the league. It tied Eruption with a 38, an insane freestyle. And last up was Nitro, the defending freestyle champion, its first freestyle as a champion. It had a great run, but flipped early in bonus time, and it would cost it, as it only get a 34. And if I remember correctly, I think there was some encores, like Telovru, Darkness made its debut. I think someone else made their debut as well. And of course, this would be the last MTWS event in the Georgia Dome, and we would not come to Atlanta again until 2022 in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Alright, so there we go. Atlanta was number 2. Yeah, like I said, it was somehow edged out by number 1. Who could be the number 1 event of 2015? Here we go. The number 1 event of the 2015 MTWS season. Orlando, October 25th, 2015. As this was MTWS's first return in Orlando since December 16th, 2012. As this would be the last time, of course, we went to Orlando until 2022. And it was Vegas-style racing into St. Louis, which was common for MTWS back then. We did in 2011. I think we did in 2012 as well. Although, looking at this actually would be impossible to do because Orlando was remodeled in 2014 and 2015, where it was fully enclosed, and as you can see, it was outside the stadium. So this actually shouldn't have been possible. I didn't know about the stadium being remodeled until much later on, like in 2016 or so. I didn't know it was remodeled at the time, which I'm kind of surprised because I knew about in 2014 when Dennis announced his retirement a few years planned ahead of time, but did not know. So this style was done inaccurately, and also I probably wouldn't have done an Orlando event if I knew the stadium was being remodeled at the time, but somehow it just went right over my head. Anyways, tough track, of course. Vance, bus stack with the step up, jammers, tabletop, and the backflip container racing lane. A jammer in the middle of a boat as something to jump over, like in Orlando 2008. A bus stack that's on the ground, a van stack, and then the backflip wall that was used in World Finals 14, but it was used like a normal semi-trailer stack and not really backflip off of. Alright, so then we get to racing as Wild Ride got number 1 qualifier, as Impala was number 2. And in racing, as we take a look at the results, see if there's any big racing matchup. Stinger upset Thunderbolt. And we got to quarterfinals. Wild Ride beat Monster Jam. Outlaw beat Stinger. Mad Dog beat Crush and Run. Destroyer beating Impala in the semifinals. So it would be Wild Ride losing to Outlaw, and Mad Dog beating Impala. So the finals was Outlaw versus Mad Dog, and the 2009 champions, and Outlaw would get the victory. And we had some photo finishes like Mad Dog beating Crush and Run by 0.02 of a second. Oh boy. What insane it was is Outlaw gets first racing win of 2015. Alright, then we get the freestyle. As Night Stalker came out, and it had an insane freestyle. It hit everything out there. It would also, and not only have its best run at the time, it would take the lead with a 33, which at the time was the highest scoring run in MTW's history for the first truck out. And just wait till like 4 years later in Las Vegas when it had an incredible run. But then Crush and Run came out and got 25. Ye Plunder came up but flipped early in its run, only got a 7. Then Locomotion came out and got a 27. Predator came out and got a reverse or backflip, which remember, 2012, it had the first ever reverse backflip, and it did it again as it got 29. War Machine came out and got 25. Stinger came out and got 27. Venom came out and got 24. Destroyer came out and got 25. Bling came out and got 27. Wild Ride came out and got 29. Shadowrun came out and got a 30. Blood Rage came out and got a 28. Pokemon came out and got a 30. Monster Jam came out with and got a 26. Mad Dog came out and flipped on a backflip attempt, but it still took the lead with a 34. Thunderbolt came out and had an incredible run and took the lead with a 38. Crazy came out but flipped early, so it only got a 28. Outlaw came out going for a double down, but stuffed into the wall and only got a 36, cutting its run short. And last up was Impala, and Impala had one of, as I said many times before, the best runs in MTW's history. As I wish I wrote down exactly what I did, because I did not do a good job. Thankfully, there's Twitter, because I tweet out MTWS 2015 Orlando. I could look that up potentially. But whatever Impala did, not only did it win freestyle, but it got a score of 44, which was 1 point short of the perfect 45. It wasn't the highest score ever in MTWS history, but it was 1 point short of the perfect score, which under the current format for MTWS since 2015, the lowest score being 4, the highest score in regulation being 40, and then 5 bonus points, the highest score you can get is 45. This still is the closest score to getting perfection in MTWS. 44. That's the closest. And with that, that wraps up the top 10 2015 events of the MTWS season, as that wraps up the MTM2 era. Next time will be 2022, when we go to ROR for the first time ever. And it will probably be a lot more detailed, because I actually remember a lot more details about those events recently in the last 2 years than I did in the last 7 years or so. Alright guys, hope y'all enjoyed that, and see you all next time for 2022 top 10 MTWS events. And of course, by the time you see this, I'm going to start filming the Runners Up Cup and hopefully soon a championship. So remember, January 25th, Runners Up Cup, and February 1st, the 2024 championship. So see you all next time.